Today's episode, I want to talk about your friend Arab, or Arab, the well-known YouTuber. His real name is Addison Piri Malouf. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. I don't know. I don't care. He's an American Lebanese travel vlogger. Super popular. He's made a lot of videos over the years. Born in the late 90s. He started his YouTube career streaming way back in 2016. I believe streaming Fortnite.
Oh my god! Gotta kill that kid.
He's been on the internet making content for a very long time. Got famous when he started doing travel vlogs in places like South Africa, going to sketchy places, interviewing gang members. I remember his series when he went to Rio de Janeiro, the favelas, and hung out with gang members. You know, he's in like the red pill sphere, the manosphere side of the internet. He's friends with Sneeko.
My friend Sneeko came up with the genius idea to visit Lebanon.
We're booking him now!
The reactionary, right-wing, neo-Nazi, frankly, streamer. Malouf has been on stream with Andrew Tate. His Twitter is crazy. I'll go into that later. Kind of a pompous, looks like an egotistical edgelord. One of those vice signalers. You know, I can be as offensive as possible just for the sake of it. Reviewing his work is very interesting. One of his more popular uploads I want to bring your attention to is entitled, "This Entire Country is One Big Scam." And it's just him walking around a town in Jamaica outside of his resort, making fun of the locals, basically, essentially. We'll dive into that and we'll check this out.
Jamaica, a country you often hear has beautiful beaches, all-inclusive resorts, and some of the best ganja in the world. But what happens when a foreigner steps away from the luxury and into the daily life of Jamaican locals?
You want me to buy you a phone?
This is such a popular genre. The poverty porn, the slum tours, traveling off the beaten path. Because they're trying to be cool, right? Nobody wants to be seen as a tourist in 2026, right? That's cringe. So these guys go off the beaten path, get into trouble, get into these contrived situations, and then complain about it on the internet. You know, and say, oh, don't trust this man in such and such ghetto in such and such country. Don't go to this favela. Don't go to this slum. It's like, you put yourself in that situation. No one's gonna do that. The average tourist is not gonna do what you did. It's a very weird style of content. Anyway, let's continue.
Is everybody trying to scam me?
Everyone in Jamaica just smokes weed all day, every day.
And how badly has smoking laced plant all day fried the brains of the Jamaican people?
Within 30 seconds of this video starting, he's basically just called the entirety of Jamaica stupid because they smoke ganja and it fries their brains. So that's just the kind of person he is right off the bat. Just kind of a tool, you know, he's kind of a tool. He just looks like a dumbass and sounds like a dumbass. He's really annoying. But watch this. It gets worse.
That right there is slang for afternoon, man. How you doing?
The reason why I say he's mocking the locals, how they talk, he calls it slang. But one of the comments says it's actually a whole different language. I have never been to Jamaica, but I've been to Belize. And they technically speak English, but it's their own twist. It's called Creole. Pardon me if I'm saying that wrong, but it's almost like a whole different language. It's not slang like Arab here calls it.
Really? Wait, I think I've seen you too. Are you the...
So he's approached this beach away from his resort and there's these locals fishing and he's like building rapport with them, apparently. I find these guys like in real life just incredibly annoying with this personality. I just find it way over the top and incredibly fake. It's like, bro, could you shut up for like 5 minutes, please?
that does the travel stuff? You did that video on Makok?
Let's go, bro. Yeah, come in. Let's dab up. God.
Go. Nice to meet you, bro. You flying a drone right now?
I have to be honest with you guys, I am a little bit of a hater. I apologize. This guy is probably perfectly fine, but his content is slop. It's just not that great. And I'm gonna get into later in this video why it's actually problematic, not just me hating.
That same beach, it could not have been a coincidence.
The boys are just chilling. They vibe here.
He also does these like cut scenes of him like back in like a hotel room and he narrates the next scene and he just stares like blank into the camera with his mouth open sometimes like this. It could have not have been a coincidence that I met that guy.
But yeah, we're at a pretty local beach if you couldn't tell by the fact that everybody is black.
I don't think he's actually like a racist person, but it's just comments like that are just strange to me. Like you're at a local beach in Jamaica, bro. Jamaica is a black country. Like why would you say that on camera? There's a lot of black people at a local beach in a country that has a lot of people of color in it. So that's just a bizarre thing to point out.
I'm from? Me a yardie.
Nah, you're not yardy.
Oh, this is for me, Dwayne. Thank you, Dwayne. But this makes me look like a tourist. No, I don't need this. He just...
As you can see, the locals are very friendly, very warm, very welcoming people. I do like how when the guy puts the bracelet on it, he's like, no, whoa, whoa, don't do that. I might look like a tourist. Again, it's like going back to what I said earlier of a lot of these men, these dudes that make these travel content, they don't want to be seen as a tourist because it's like apparently not cool, which is what they are, no matter how much they try not to be a tourist and no matter how many slums they travel to be cool. At the end of the day, they're just tourists. And it's funny how you notice that they don't want to be labeled a tourist. So he's like, get that off of me before, you know, I look like a tourist. That's what you are, bro.
Okay.
The real Jamaican cabin.
Real Jamaican cabin.
Pointing in the background here, like there's two other tourists there, two other white people. So he's not the only person that's off the beaten path here that he claims is. It's like, it's almost like you're at a normal beach, brother.
Bro, did you let the banana get big enough?
Yeah, man, this one.
Like so many of these travel content creators, the dialogue and the commentary is so insufferable. I don't understand how you could watch this, be like, I'm sold. Sign me up for your Patreon, your website. I will support you and watch every single video you post from now on all the way through. He's so annoying to me.
Gray now.
Look brown.
Brown and gray mix up. But that's have pretty eyes. Is it true?
You have pretty eyes?
Yes.
Beautiful eyes. I've fallen in love with you just in this 2 minutes. I know it's moving fast, I know.
A lot of these slum tourists and these poverty porn content creators, they always hit on local women, impoverished local women, very cringy, very distastefully. I've fallen in love with you. Please be my wife. He did that to a woman during his Rio de Janeiro video in the Cracolandia, very impoverished drug neighborhood. Anyway, he just like makes these sexual remarks about these women that are in these local women that are very low income in these countries that he goes to. It's very distasteful. It's not funny. It's not edgy. If you're older than the age of 13, just pretty pathetic stuff, honestly, in my opinion.
I am quickly realizing that everybody here in Jamaica is trying to get some sort of money out of you. So the tourism thing definitely helps the country a lot. At the same time, that is why I want to go deeper. I want to see if that changes at all, if I'm still too close to that.
You remember my video about Jude Ruska? How he was in India and he was just like shocked that the locals were treating him like a tourist foreigner who had money, and rather than just rolling out the red carpet and having him be treated like a king and like giving him a bunch of free stuff, he was just shocked and like dumbfounded that they're trying to sell him something because they're trying to survive. These poor countries, lower income countries that these guys go to, people are struggling to survive. So they see you as a foreigner with money, like of course they're going to try and sell you something or ask you for money. Like, I don't know what you expected. And then he goes on, he's like, you know, I'm trying to leave the resort to see the real side of Jamaica. It's like, that's the real side of Jamaica, bro. What did you expect? You just said you wanted to see the real side and you've seen the real side. They want to go off the beaten path. They don't want to be a tourist because that's not cool. But then when they see the real side, they're dumbfounded that the real side is just hardworking locals trying to make a living.
Man, my slippers broke. I just bought these yesterday. Me want a slipper. Oh, he can fix it? Wow.
That could take you on the journey, huh?
Nice.
The guy just fixed his blown out flip-flop. Watch what Arab does here.
I am, yeah, but I can also come back tonight when not many people are here. I'll be back. Quickly notice that everyone's always trying to get something from you.
The guy fixed your shoes and you didn't pay him for his labor because you're a fat, greedy American capitalist. That's crazy, man. The guy fixed his shoe and Arab here refused to pay him for his labor. And then he's like, everyone's trying to get something out of you. Stole their labor for free. You stole that man's labor. What are you talking about, bro? You guys kind of get the point now. I like the comments of this video. He actually gets roasted by the locals. But yeah, that's the kind of person he is. Very egotistical, self-serving, obnoxious, doesn't really care about people around him. Here's where his content actually gets legitimately problematic. So on March 13th of 2024, he, in order to push the envelope with the views and the engagement and the clout, he flew to Haiti to interview a gang member. I believe it was called Barbecue is the guy's gang name. He's an infamous like warlord in Port-au-Prince Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Within a couple days of being there, him and his guide got kidnapped and was held for, I think it was like a month or so, held for ransom. Long story short, he gets released and had to pay a ransom or whatever, made a big YouTube series about it. Now, the problem is apparently he risked the life of his local guide. Now, if you're a traveler and you go to these countries and you hire a guide, you do have responsibility for the guide's life, because in a lot of these places, these guides are low income and are doing this to survive because there's not a lot of jobs. And a lot of these places, they risk their life by doing this work. Really good example would be my trip to Afghanistan. I had to hire a local guide and he was risking his life because if anything happened to me, he would be responsible to the Afghanistan administration for my life. So these guides risk their lives for us foreigners to show us around. And Arab here had a wanton disregard for his guide. There's this YouTuber, his name is Christmas List. He had also been to Haiti and had used the same tour guide. He had comments about this situation in a live stream and he was very displeased with Arab's selfish, egotistical, clout-chasing behavior in Haiti. Check this out.
I did not think this was the best idea, but this video is not about me at all. The family of Sean requested that word.
Sean is the name of this local Haitian tour guide that Arab hired and had previously guided Christmas List here in Haiti.
2 Sundays ago, so practically 2 weeks ago, the two gentlemen in question, Sean and Arab, were kidnapped on the way to meeting barbecue. And no disrespect to Arab, he's a human being. I don't know him. I'm not a huge fan of his type of content.
This gentleman here, Christmas List, he seems to have principles, unlike a lot of the rest of these YouTubers. Chris here, he does a lot of the investigative journalism. His channel has a lot of going to these slums and these ghettos. He does seem like he's a lot more ethical than most of these travel vloggers. I have no problem with Chris here. To Chris's credit, he is just reporting this in this live stream. He doesn't have beef with Arab. He just is concerned for the local Haitian tour guide, Sean.
I know people will say we shoot similar. A lot of his stuff is comedy, disrespectful stuff, and I'm not.
Exactly. Arab is like a lot of these travel vloggers, just going to make a mockery of himself and the locals. It's evident in the videos that you can watch yourself. He's a goofball. He's a cornball. His content is very tacky, very just stupid and reckless, just for the views, just for the clout. He doesn't really care about these places because at the end of the day, Arab is a YouTuber and entertainer.
I'm going to speak down upon him, but
I'll speak down upon him. And now in hindsight, this was over 2 years ago, we can now speak down on Arab. But at the time, when this was live streamed, they were still held captive. So Chris wanted to be respectful.
The media that's covering this is only talking about him. Sean is the hero here. Okay, Sean.
Exactly. Like all these local tour guides who risk their lives for these jackass foreign YouTubers, always the local tour guides are the real victims.
Multiple times has been asked to leave. Like, you're welcome to go. We don't want you. We want the American. And Sean has chosen himself, his own free will, to stay.
The local tour guide, Sean, he was offered by these gang members to be released. And he said, no, I'll stay with my client. I'll stay with Arab. That's very selfless. Very, very selfless.
He said, it's my client. I want to stay with him. So Sean is the real hero here. My concern, and I'm speaking very openly, is that Arab is looking at this as like a marketing campaign. I've seen his mass email that was sent out yesterday where it's like, hey guys, I'm kidnapped.
This whole kidnapping, in my opinion, was very contrived. When it happened at the time, I knew I was like, this is clout for him. Because he knows his family probably has money. The ransoms will be paid. He wasn't worried.
But I'm still working on the best video I ever created, and sending out long emails to try to hype up the content. Now is not the time. Like, people's life are at stake.
So anyway, long story short, as most of you probably already know, they were eventually safely released. Arab gives no credit to his local tour guide and instead posts on X, "Cameraman never dies, Christ is king." So instead of thanking the local man that risked his life for Arab's jackassery, he just thanks Jesus. That'll tell you the kind of man Arab is. His X account is crazy. The top tweet is, they're treating Tate like he's Hitler. Arab, I'm assuming, is friends with Andrew Tate. I was kidnapped purely for the color of my skin. I was kidnapped for being blanc. And you kidnapped in the middle of a Haitian desert, 60 minutes away from any civilization, in a concrete shack surrounded by barbed wire. You don't pray to a rainbow flag, you pray to God. Looking at Arab's Twitter account, he's clearly like a very bigoted man. He hates gay people and transgender people. He makes that a big part of his personality. It's pretty pathetic. So that's what the you don't pray to a rainbow flag, you pray to God. Referencing the pride flag as if anybody prays to that. That's a very strange thing to say. Arab also went to India. None of you will be surprised. He had a lot of disrespect and disingenuous things to say about India. Supposedly he got permanent health effects from the pollution in India. He puts up this diagram, percentages of Indians defecating in the open. And it's this outdated piece of data about how everyone defecates in the streets in India. And then right underneath it, it's really hilarious. Readers added context. This is an outdated data from 2001. India has exponentially developed its sanitation. A survey from 2019 shows that India has toilets in 99.95% of homes, which is greater than some in Southeast Asia. But that's the kind of stuff he tweets. The stereotypes about India, the racist stereotypes. Here's another doozy of a tweet. I used to be a gamer, professional at that. Gaming got gay, and I mean that literally. It used to be an escape from the woke. There it is, the woke. They live rent-free in these right-wingers' heads. We could get on, release our anger and energy by calling each other every slur in the book. No hard feelings, we're just playing. That's a very strange thing to say. I used to play video games over 10 years ago, almost 15 years ago when I was in high school, and I never wanted to call anybody a slur. So that's not all gamers, bro. That's just you because you're frankly a rotten person. The vice signaling. I can be as offensive as I possibly can just cause I can. No rhyme or reason to being an asshole. It's just to be edgy. This one is probably the most dooziest of all of his excretions. Happy Pride Month. Just remember the days when you looked at a rainbow and noticed beauty of God's creation and not two men having gay sex with a rainbow. That's such a strange thing to say because him being the based Christian straight man that he is, it's very strange that you think of gay men having sex when you see an actual real rainbow. I don't even think gay men think of gay sex when they see a rainbow in real life. Only straight men like you. So anyway, that's like clearly the kind of person he is. Just like an edgelord, dirtbag, egotistical, who doesn't care about anybody around him except himself. That's why he goes and he risks the lives of local tour guides so he can make these videos. I don't really have a problem with these content creators that do these contrived videos about going to slums and ghettos around the world. If you want to kill yourself for your YouTube channel, for your subpar YouTube channel, that's fine. But the problem I have is specifically in Arab's case, if he risked the life of a local tour guide to make his stupid video about getting kidnapped in Haiti. He knew the dangers and went anyway and risked other people's lives, and then when he got kidnapped, he made it the entire internet's problem. Go do your stupid things, but do it by yourself and don't make it the internet's problem. And don't promote on the internet that it's okay to do this because people will follow in your footsteps, young men that are impressionable, and they'll do dumb things like this.